Hey everybody, this is Orion saying with the Detroit Free Press. I'm here with Reiner, Shawn. We're here on Monday of Ohio State week. Big week, obviously, even if Michigan didn't really want to show it. I don't know.
Right.
Jim Harbaugh had sort of a muted opening today. The players, they all admitted that this game means a lot to them. But let's start with taking a look at how the season has gone for Michigan heading into this game before we get to Ohio State. Obviously, Michigan has had a second half turnaround. They're playing a lot better. What have you guys seen from Michigan recently?
Nick Eubanks was right. He said after Wisconsin, right, they didn't know where they needed to be, or there were communication issues. They were looking for that identity, right? But he did. I remember in Madison, he did talk about the talent was there. They felt like the pieces were there. You kind of write it off. Well, that's what you say after you lose by whatever it was they lost by, 4 or 5 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. But he turns out he was right, and the team we thought we were going to see back in August is the team we're looking at right now.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, and obviously the offensive growth and the pass protection, I think, has been the biggest upgrade, I guess, in the last 3 weeks, and that has led for Shea Patterson to perform at his best at this part of the season. So, I think there's just been a continued growth in the offense, and it kind of starts at the offensive line.
Mm-hmm. No, I've seen that too. When you look at what they've done since that Penn State game, they look like a top 10 offense, and they've never really had that capability here. It's a spread, modern offense. They're attacking the edges of defenses. They're attacking down the field with those big receivers. You saw Nico Collins have a big game Saturday, and Patterson looks like the quarterback that everyone anticipated. The big question is, will that be enough against Ohio State? I kind of wanted to shift focus to that team and that matchup. There are a couple of things that I'm looking for in this game. One is obviously, can Michigan slow down Chase Young? He leads the nation with 16.5 sacks. He's having a really good year. And if he can get pressure on Shea Patterson, that could disrupt Michigan's passing offense. It'll be up to the offensive line, the tight ends, running backs to sort of help out and make sure he doesn't get to Patterson. I think he's forced like 6 or 7 fumbles. So, I mean, when he gets to the quarterback, a lot of times he's knocking them all out. The other matchup that I'm looking at is Nico Collins versus that secondary. They have Jeff Okudah, Shawn Wade, Damon Arnett. Those are some good cornerbacks. Collins, I think, is Michigan's most physically talented receiver. And you saw good things happen when they throw him the ball. I'm curious to see how open he'll be able to get against those cornerbacks and how often they target him.
Well, he did last year, and I know Ohio State had a different defensive coordinator last year. They weren't as good, but they had mostly the same players. Mm-hmm. Collins had 100+ yards last year in Columbus.
Yeah, he had 4 for 91 and 2 touchdowns.
And you forget that because Ohio State scored 62 or whatever. Michigan actually moved the ball pretty well. Now, again, the defense is not the same. Chase was a sophomore year ago, and he's made a lot of growth. But I think they're going to be able to move the ball. I frankly think they're going to be able to compete with them overall. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I don't think the gap is maybe quite where we thought it was a month ago for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll again come down to pass protection, how well that they can stop Ohio State from penetrating the pocket early on, and if they do, then Shea Patterson can get into a rhythm, and we've seen what he can do when he gets in a rhythm. The question is whether Ohio State can knock him off the mark early on, and if that happens, I can see a potential for the game getting away from Michigan. So I think it's really going to come down to that first quarter and how well Michigan holds up in pass protection.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys watch the Buckeyes play Penn State at all?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They were oddly conservative a few times, and you almost wondered if they were holding back for this game. There were a couple of, in second half in particular, there were a couple of 3rd and 4s where they just kind of ran the ball and weren't trying anything. You just think, what are they doing right there? I mean, maybe they felt like they were going to win. They were up a couple touchdowns at that point, but it was interesting to see them not, because they've done that before, and then they get in this game, and all of a sudden you see everything, right?
Yeah. I think the thing that stood out to me about that game was Penn State didn't really give that much help to the tackles against Chase Young, and he had 4 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. I mean, he was a monster game.
And yet it was still a 1 touchdown game.
We saw Ohio State make some uncharacteristic mistakes. Yeah, I think Michigan will probably do something different from what Penn State did. I'm just guessing here, but I think they'll help the tackles out with tight ends, running backs that can chip.
They're going to have to.
Yeah. He's just that good of a player. You can't let him impact the game. That easy.
Or roll the play away from him. Right?
Yeah. And this goes for all quarterbacks, not just Patterson, but typically you play a lot better when you're not under pressure.
For sure.
Every quarterback is the same. You see it NFL,
For sure.
college, high school. So it's going to be like he's had 750 passing yards past 2 games. If he is to continue that, they have to keep him clean.
The other thing is, on defense, I mean, Justin Fields' athleticism, I think, adds a different component to this game. I mean, Don Brown obviously likes to play man defense, and, a guy against, man defense against a mobile quarterback's not a great combination. So, I mean, I can see, again, they've worked more zone coverage into the defense. I can see that becoming a big element to stopping or trying to stop Ohio State in this game.
I agree. No, I think it's going to be a month ago. What would you have said? 6 weeks ago, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Right?
It would have been
big difference.
Yeah, but you could feel there's some confidence in the players. You can hear it. They didn't want to say anything. Just in and around Ann Arbor and with this fan base, you can feel there's some
mojo.
There is. There's a little excitement for this because I think folks think this could be a game, and I think it will be.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is probably the best football Michigan has played heading into this game since Harbaugh's been here. You look at 2015, 2016.
Second year
17,
with
18.
Wormley and all those guys.
They lost to Iowa though in November.
They did, but those teams were pretty evenly matched. That was the 4th down call, right? I mean,
Yeah, but hey, I mean, I think that this year they've shown they're a much different team right now than they were in September, being blown out of
Absolutely.
Wisconsin, even Penn State. I don't know if they'll win necessarily, but as we've said, it should make it very competitive.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if it's not a 4th quarter game at this point.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have more coverage on our website, freepress.com. So make sure to look for more stories from these two guys. For Shawn and Reiner, I'm Orion. Thanks for watching.